Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Nick's Impromptu Reviews. And today, I'm going to be reviewing actually two games, the Resistance and Avalon. Well, why am I reviewing two games? Well, I'm not really reviewing two games. These two are essentially the same type of game. In fact, they have the same gameplay. They're created by the same designer, Dan Eskridge. They're published by the same publisher, which is Indie Boards and Cards. And the base gameplay is identical. The only difference is that one is set in the sci-fi universe, which is the Resistance, and this is set in the time of King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. And also there are some slight differences between the advanced games of both versions. But the basic vanilla game, the basic game, the core game is identical. And these games going along the lines of Werewolf and Mafia. It's a deduction / bluffing game where you have to guess who the bad guys are. Werewolf and Mafia, they hold more players, I think 30 players. These ones hold like a maximum of 10 players, between 5 and 10 players, and it seems a little more structured than Werewolf. Well, let's take a look at these games. Okay, so let's see how a game of Resistance goes. This is the setup for the game Resistance, and Avalon's pretty much the same thing. Like I said, this is the sci-fi version of the game. Now, if you've seen my review of Werewolf, I'll do the same thing. This is just a representation of how the game is played. People are actually sitting around the table, and they'll have these items with them. And let me explain what these cards are. First of all, each player, they're going to have an approve and a reject token, which is used for voting if they want a mission to go or not. They're going to have a success and a fail mission, so when they go on the mission, they have to put down one of these cards. The good guys always have to succeed. The bad guys have a choice to fail or succeed. And also, we're going to have a leader token, so one person is going to be a leader and it's going to rotate around the table. So we'll make this person right here the leader for now, and the leader is going to have these guns, and these guns, he's going to give these guns to the people who are going to go on the mission. Alright, and I'll explain that later. Now before this all starts, we have to draw our destiny. And here we go. We have 5 cards, and we have 2 red cards, which represent the bad guys, the spies, and 3 good guys, which is the Resistance. Okay. Now, what's going to happen is that these cards are going to be randomly passed out to everybody. Okay, so let's mix them up so we don't know who they are. Now, these are kept in secret normally, but I'm just going to show you just so you know which ones are the bad guys and which are not the good guys. So these are going to be secretly passed around everybody, and they're going to secretly look at their card. Okay. Now, before the game starts, here's what's going to happen. You're going to have everyone, after they look at their card, if they're to see if they're a good guy or a bad guy, they're going to close their eyes, okay? And the moderator, whether it's the good guy or bad guy, is going to say, spies, open your eyes. So, in this case, these two, everyone's going to have their eyes closed, but these two are going to wake up when the moderator prompts. So the bad guys are going to know who each other are. Okay, they're going to know who everyone is. Okay, then they close their eyes and everybody wakes up. Okay, so when everybody wakes up, the Resistance, they'll have no idea who the bad guys are, but the bad guys know who everyone is. Okay, so they have an advantage. Okay, and it's the Resistance job to try to find out, to weed out these bad guys. All right, so once that's determined and the game, then the game is ready to go. Okay, so let's start out with the leader. Now this is the leader, and if we recall, the leader was a bad guy. Okay, so the leader is going to pick. Okay, so first of all, we gotta look at this. We have these missions. That's the first mission, second mission, third mission, fourth mission, fifth mission. And whatever side wins the majority of these missions, so in other words, whoever wins 3 missions wins the game, whether it's good guys or bad guys. So let's say this person's the leader and she happens to be a bad guy. So what they're going to do, they're going to go on the first mission, and the mission says 2, so that means he or she is going to pick 2 people to go on this mission. So what the leader will do, the leader is going to pick 2 people. So let's say the leader picks him or herself, and then this person right here. All right. Then once the leader picks the team, everyone is going to vote whether they like the team or not. Okay, this is where they get their vote tokens. All right, so what they'll do, they'll say, okay, either no, I don't like this team, or yes, I'm okay with this team. Okay, so what everyone does, they put their vote, they put it face down in front of them, and everyone reveals. Okay, so the majority, if the majority is rejects, the mission does not go, and then the leader token goes to the next player clockwise, and they get to choose a team to go. All right. Okay, but let's say in this case that the majority approve it. Okay, so that means this mission goes. Okay. Now, as we know, these two people are going, so they're going to take their mission cards. Okay, like I said, their fail or success, and this person puts their fail or success. Okay, so like I said before, the bad guy has a choice to fail it or succeed, while the good guy has to succeed. So they secretly pick one of these cards. So this good guy is going to pick the success card. Okay, and they'll put it in, and this person is the bad guy, but no one knows it. Now they have the choice to put in a success or a fail card. Now you're probably saying, well, it's the bad guy's objective to fail the mission, so why don't they just always put fail? Well, if you look at this, it's a two-player mission, right? So if they put the fail mission right now, let's say they put the fail mission or the fail card right now, and then they shuffle it, right? And then you reveal it. Boom. One person failed, and that's all it requires to fail a mission, just one fail. Now there are other, when you play more games, there's like a mission where you need two fails, but in this case, one fail fails the mission. Okay? So, suppose if they did that, if they failed it immediately right here, well, guess what? Now it's going to narrow down to this person and that person, that one of them is the spy. So it may not be a good idea to fail it on a two-player mission. You may want to hide. So if you succeed both of them, you know, people will say, oh, okay, so I think so-and-so is good, all right, or both of these guys are good, or maybe not, I don't know. So yeah, so that's basically how the game goes. The fail mission, that means the bad guy wins, and you put a token right there. If it's a successful mission, you put a token right there. Whoever side has 3 tokens wins the game. Oh, and one more thing. If the team to be approved does not get approved in 5 turns, the bad guys win, the spies win. Okay, and that's pretty much the base game. Real simple, but it's really, really fun. A lot of deduction, a lot of thinking.
Now, apart from the cosmetic differences between Avalon and Resistance, there are some differences in the advanced games of each one of them. For instance, in the Resistance, you have the option to use these plot cards, and what these plot cards do, the leader before each mission, before every round, they get to distribute these cards. And for instance, this one, well, they'll draw these. The leader will draw this card and actually play this one. So this is a little different. And the leader must show their character card to the player of their choice. So they gotta pretty much trust somebody, and hopefully they're Resistance or they're on the same team. This next one, let's see, is you may look at one played mission card. Okay, so all these plot cards, they have that kind of thing that sort of break the rules or help you weed out who your opposition is or who your friends are. Okay, and that's Resistance. In Avalon, they have special characters. Okay, for instance, they have Merlin. Okay, and Merlin gets to know, he's a good guy who gets to know who the evil ones are. Okay, now that may sound good in theory, but for the good guys, but not really, because when you play Merlin, you have to play the assassin. And the assassin is the person, this person gets to assassinate Merlin, and if they assassinate Merlin at the end of the game, the bad guys win. Okay, so what happens is you have something very interesting going on between these two. So at the beginning of the game, yeah, Merlin will know who everyone is, but Merlin can't just come out and say, hey, I'm Merlin, these two are the bad guys, you know, that's it. Because if the good guys win the missions, at the end of the game, the bad guys get one shot to kill Merlin with the assassin. Okay, and that adds a little bit more flavor to a game of Avalon. Okay, Merlin will know who the people are, but they don't want to reveal themselves as Merlin because guess what? The assassin will know who they are and the bad guys will win. So that adds a little bit of a twist to the game. And also, you're going to have these other ones like Percival will know who Merlin is. Morgana is going to appear as Merlin to Percival. And then you have other ones. Mordred, who's a bad guy who doesn't reveal himself or something like that. Doesn't reveal himself to Merlin. So the characters in Avalon, they add a little bit more flavor to it. But essentially, like I said, the base games of both of them are nearly identical. And I think both games, you can't go wrong with either one of them.
So this is a very interactive game, like all party deduction games, pretty much like Werewolf. I think it just flows better. Like I said, it's more structured, but you'll be doing the same things. You'll be like reading body language. You'll be lying. You'll be using your deductive skills. You're gonna be seeing how people vote, and you're gonna be using logic. And the real good players are really good at that. But even new players, they can pretty much figure it out. This is a good game. And it only lasts a few minutes, so you can play several sessions at one time.
Alright, in a previous review, I was reviewing the game Werewolf, and I mentioned that Werewolf is good between 15 to 20 players, and that there is a better game for 10 players or less, or for 10 to 5 or 5 to 10 players. Well, these are the games that I was sort of hinting. Avalon and Resistance, they're very similar to Werewolf, but I like them better because it's more structured. In Werewolf, the problem was that you can get eliminated immediately. In this game, you're not eliminated. You can be discovered as a bad guy early, but then you can always deny and just talk yourself out of it. So that's the reason why I kind of like these games better than Werewolf, because there's no elimination. You're always in the game, and it's just more structured. Okay, Werewolf is pretty much open-ended. You talk, and it can just drag on forever. This game, there's a purpose. You're doing something. You're voting for who wants to go on the mission. You're choosing the people to go on the mission. You have to see how everyone's vote goes. And like I said, you're always in the game. Okay. And also these games, they last about 20, 30 minutes. They don't take that long. Sometimes they can drag with more people. But overall, I actually do like these better than Werewolf or Mafia. This is one of my game group's favorite games. They just love the bluffing and everything. Now, to new players, I think this can work with new players, but kitty cat, what's going on? This is my cat Oscar. Well, anyways, these if to a non-gamer, I think it can work, but from my experience, they have to stick with it, because sometimes you'll have a game where they're just the good guys win 3 straight, and it just happens. You know what I mean? But if you give it a chance, maybe play a few more. If you can teach a group to play a few more games, there can be some really, really intense games that go down to the wire, and it is awesome when you have that one game where you have to pick the right team, or else you're not gonna win. And when that happens, this game gets very intense and very, very fun. So, on that note, these games, Avalon and Resistance, I will give an 8 out of 10. Very simple, but very fun deduction / bluffing game. Better than Werewolf. Yep, sorry. But it is better than Werewolf. Alright, so that is it. Oscar, you messed up my video. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.